Hey, hello, how are you? Welcome back to Hey Han. I'm your host, Hannah Fletcher, and today we are speaking with Spencer. Spencer is so funny. I cannot convey how much I love Spencer's content on TikTok. You guys have to go over and check it out after you watch this conversation. But before we get into it, make sure that you guys go ahead and interact with this content in any way possible. Please go ahead, leave us a review if you are listening on one of our auditory platforms. If you guys are watching us on YouTube or on Roku, please go ahead and make sure that you interact with the content. Leave a comment, add us to any type of playlist, queue, anything like that. It really means a ton when you guys interact with any form of content that comes from Hey Han, and I appreciate it so much. Now, without further ado, here is Spencer. All right. Hi, everybody. This is Hannah Fletcher, and I have Spencer with me.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, my gosh. I am so excited to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Your dress is really pretty. I already told you
so
that before,
much.
but I had to say it again.
I love your energy so much.
Thank
Let me
you.
just say. So first of all, just tell me, how did your journey begin into the content creation space?
Lord, buckle up. Because I actually went to a vocational high school, which is like a magnet school for theater.
Mm-hmm.
I got into it's called Marymount Manhattan. It's in
Oh,
the
yeah. I had a bunch of friends that went there.
No
yeah.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I got into Marymount for a BFA in acting.
Mm-hmm.
I actually paid for my room and board.
Oh,
and
wow.
then I got a scholarship in New Jersey to basically go to community college for free.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, would I rather pay and be in debt or just like go to community college? So I went to community.
Mm-hmm. And
then while I was at community, that's when I started like making videos at Starbucks. I don't know if I'm allowed to say them, but a coffee company. And then I kind of just like progressed from there. But my friend actually got me into posting publicly because I used to have an account, but just like my friends would follow it.
Okay.
And it would just be like me and then my friends from high school. And then my one friend, Mary, was like, why don't you start posting it, not private, but publicly? Mm-hmm. And I did. And then kind of just went off from there.
I love it. Well, I think that everybody's so drawn to your personality. That
makes me so happy.
I am.
Thank you so much.
So talk to me. I feel like your biggest claim to fame is like your daily scream.
Yeah.
How did this come about? Was this an accident? Talk to me about that.
I remember the day it started because I had like the worst day at work. First of all, I loved my coworkers when I worked at this coffee company, but at the same time, the customers were just like, I just could not stand them. Also, this is peak COVID. I volunteered to keep working because at the time when I was working there, we stayed open because like first responders would come in the morning and we would want to be able to provide them coffee. Mm-hmm. And I just remember like one time this lady came in and like stole all of our masks and our gloves. Like she just like ran in, left. And I was having this horrible day. And I remember I was walking to my car and I wasn't even like thinking about doing like a daily scream, but it had just rained and my car was in the only spot where there was a massive puddle. Oh, like it was damp. Yeah. But like to get into my car, I had to step into literally like one of the Great Lakes to get into my car. And I was like, no, we're not doing this. So I get in my car and I had like a breakdown. Like my first daily scream wasn't really like a scream. It was like a breakdown. Like it was my breaking point. And then I was like, wait. People like this, like people get it. People like work in customer service and hate it. And I was like, let me keep doing this. And that's what I did. And then like my life kind of just like spiraled out of control. Like I remember at one point, right after I stopped working at Starbucks, I had to live in a hotel for a month. Oh, wow. Because I was again still in college. And at that time, like our apartment was being renovated, my mom and I, and they cut the cable wire. So we had no Wi-Fi, but because it was COVID, everything was online. So like everything was just kind of just falling apart. And I was like, okay, let's film this.
Well, I mean, it's that relatability factor, and I think that that's what everybody's just yearning for at this point in society and in 2023. I think everybody just wants to relate.
Be like, oh, I get that.
Yeah, and
I feel like also it was just like so much stuff was happening to me that like doesn't happen to that. Like, I mean, yes, it happens to people, but like seeing it happening and unfolding in real time, I feel like people were like, damn. Yeah. Like, this is kind of funny though. Like, sorry your life sucks, but like, hey.
But like, whoa.
But like, hey, here's a follow. I want to see how like bad it can get. That's kind of what it was, I feel.
It's really neat though to see how much you've grown within the past few years and all the opportunities that you've had, starting from there and then obviously ending up to where you are. I'm so grateful. What a journey.
Oh, it was a really long journey. And I'm really grateful for the platform I have now. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else than like here right now. So
Yeah. What was like your aha moment, or have you had like a crazy fan encounter? Like, have you had that aha moment where you're like, oh, okay, I am not just an average Joe in society anymore?
I actually had my aha moment at Starbucks.
Okay.
Sorry. So while I was working there, I worked drive-through.
Okay.
And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but every store I went to, so like the way that it works is every quarter you get kind of like a report.
Okay.
And the report is like how much money you made, like customer interactions, because when you go to Starbucks, when you leave, you're allowed to like give a 5-star review, talk about your experience there. And every store I went to, the customer service, it rose to the roof because I was so like talkative and like nice with people.
Right.
And I ended up, at one point, my manager at the time, she had to take me off of drive-through window, and I was strictly only allowed on bar, which was hell on earth.
Oh my
because so many people had been recognizing me at the drive-through window, and they would stop the line of cars to take photos with me. And I would always be like, hell yeah, let's take pictures.
Yeah, of course.
And it would cause like a line to wrap around the building. And I remember one day my manager, Laura, was like, Spencer, like, I love you, but you can't be on register anymore. Like, it's just too much. And I was like, okay. And then I was strictly on bar. I was good at bar. Like, like you can ask anyone. I was like actually really good at my job. Yeah, they lost a good one.
They lost a good, sorry, Laura.
Sorry, Laura. I love you, Laura. If you're ever watching this, hi, I love you, Laura. My manager.
Oh my God.
And Kirsten and Jenny and Fiona and Jeff and everyone else I used to work with in New Jersey.
Look at me now.
Yeah. Hey guys. I know some of them still work at like when I go back home to New Jersey, I'll go visit them at Starbucks. Hey Sally too. I like go visit them at Starbucks and I'm like, hey guys.
Oh.
They're like, Spencer, you're home.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and then they give me free drinks.
Well, that's good. They should at that
Yeah,
point. You
at
know,
that point it's like
you've earned it.
they know. They're like, you used to work here, girl. Like, here's a free one. I like, let me put my partner numbers.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, talk to me. I've seen your podcast.
Oh.
I love your podcast.
Thank you.
I'm a podcaster myself. I love the podcast space. What has that been like, being able to have the opportunity to do that? Because again, your personality is infectious. You are so natural.
Thank you so
at
much.
it. So what's that all been like for you?
It's been like a lot. It's been crazy. I actually was offered the podcast agency I work with, Brat TV. I actually was introduced to them because I was on Drew Afuelo's podcast. And they were like, hey, we really liked you on Drew's podcast. Would you like your own? And I was like, yeah, sure. So it's different than what I thought it was, but nonetheless, I still love it. I love going in. I love talking to people. I think my favorite thing about it is that like I just run my mouth all the time. Like I actually don't know how to stop talking ever. So it's just like, wow, like now I have a podcast and I can just like do that and people can listen to me run my mouth all the time. And I was actually surprised because I was going to say this goes nowhere, but I guess it's going somewhere. I don't listen to podcasts. I can't listen to myself speak.
Oh,
you know
I
those
get
people
that.
that are like, oh, I can't hear my own voice. That's who I can't do it. I will throw my phone at a wall. So I don't listen to my own podcast because I'm like, oh, I was there. I experienced it.
Well, right. Yeah.
But I've met people who are like, I love your podcast. And I'm like, really? I'm like, you listen to my voice? Like, you're okay with that? Because like, I hate the sound of my own voice, but I feel like most people do.
I'm in the same boat. That's why I'm really grateful for my editor because he helps me a lot with all of that. But no, I get that. It's like, you were there, you had the conversation, and then you're just kind of going in and thinking about, oh, this is how I said this, or this is how I said that. And I feel like it's tricky. I
also love meeting new people. And I feel like my podcast has done a lot for me, especially in terms of like making like Leo.
I love Leo. I found him recently. I'm obsessed with him. He's so amazing.
I actually like even Fanita as well. I had Fanita on my podcast, and then now I've been on her podcast. She has a new podcast, Bottoms Up, and then I even actually for the first time in the I'm Literally Screaming podcast history, I had a guest return, which was Fanita. But yeah, I've met a lot of people that's also another reason why I'm so happy I have one, is because I just meet new people all the time, almost every week. Yeah. And I get to talk to them and we just get to have a good time. And I love that. I love getting to meet new people.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell. I feel like you're the life of the party, Spencer. I feel like you are.
Don't stop. Don't say that.
No, keep going.
No, keep going.
Oh my God. Well, I want to ask you, this is my final question for you, but obviously we're here with Viral Nation.
Yes.
What has it been like having the opportunity to work with Viral Nation?
I love Viral Nation. I've been with them, I believe, for 3 years.
Wow. Okay.
I actually, luckily, I had a friend who was with Viral Nation, and I remember one day she called me. We were just like talking on the phone. Her name was Katie, and she was like, "So, do you get paid for your videos?" And I was like, "No." Because this was all new to me. I didn't know I could be paid for making content. I didn't know this could like be my life. And Katie was like, "Let me introduce you to my manager."
Wow.
And then from there, it kind of just like went off, and I was like, "Wow, like I actually can make a living off of doing something I love, and I wouldn't be able to do that if it weren't for Viral Nation. I wouldn't be able to experience what I have experienced, have the opportunities that I've been given if it weren't for them, and I love it here."
Yeah.
Hey Fabio, shout out to you, love you. He's literally right over there.
He's like, hey.
Hey girl.
Oh my gosh. Well, Spencer, congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. You're great. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Seriously. And I just want to say thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it.
I'm so glad I was here.
Thank you so much to Spencer for joining me today on Hey Han. I appreciate you, your time, your content, and honestly, I just really had a great time speaking with you. So thank you so much. To my audience, make sure that you guys are prioritizing yourselves this week and take yourself on a date. I don't care if it's the coffee shop. I don't care if it's just putting on a nice movie and some low lighting and maybe folding some laundry and just catching up. Do something that requires for you to spend time with yourself that doesn't necessarily involve the presence of other people. You know, put your phone down, be alone, enjoy yourself, romanticize something for yourself, do something with yourself. I find that over the past few weeks, I've found myself very social, which is awesome. And I am so grateful for that, especially after the past few years that we've had. But I am getting to the point where I'm wanting to check in with myself and wanting to spend some time alone and maybe light a candle, maybe have a little glass of wine and watch a Hallmark movie, you know, something like that. So do whatever this means to you in whatever form this takes for you, but just make sure that you're spending some intentional time with yourself that doesn't involve others and doesn't involve a distraction. You know, take yourself on a date, stay at home and treat yourself, do whatever it is that you need to do in order to take care of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you go ahead and check out all of the other episodes that we have from this past season. We've spoken with Danny DMC, Gary Anthony Williams, Morgan Presley, Nick Ray, Tom Ward. Please go and check out all of those videos. Thank you again so much for watching. Again, I'm Hannah Fletcher. This has been Hey Han, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.